We are live. All right. Let's see. Recording. And with
Need a
us,
flash on. We need to turn on the
I don't
lights.
know. We're going to find out here right now. Let's see what we got to do here. Oh, we go live in 20. Oh, no, we are live. Let's see. Comments. StreamYard. This is where we go here and get rid of this media assets. Let's go. Take that off. Delete replay. There we are. Maybe we need a light. Can we see you? There you are. Maybe if you hold the phone.
No, you gotta hold it.
Hey,
Can you turn the
I don't
camera
know if
around?
I can. Let's see. Let's see. Hi, guys. This is Amy. Y'all can see me, but you can't see Jonathan.
What's
There you
cracking,
are.
everybody? We up in the truck, making the CattleHaul. Brought to you by Organic Meats, 470 Farms. The eye between the ribs. What's going on, everybody? So how are we gonna do this with the camera thing? You just gonna hold it?
Well, since we're doing on a CattleHaul, this is our first time doing this on a.
Are we on StreamYard?
We're on StreamYard. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube. What's the other one? X.
X, YouTube, and Facebook. Hit the like, love, subscribe button. Check us out.
Tell them about the video you made. Hold the phone though, so that way they can see you. No comment. Whoops.
Oh, we made a video, and I'm driving, so I shouldn't be even holding the phone.
Well, I gotta make sure they see you. Can
They can see me real good. Like, too bad they ain't got a flash button on there. But we made a video. Amy, it took a long time to edit it, clip it. She basically made a short movie. It's about 2 minutes, 2:29, something like that. It's really worth the whole watch. It goes through the whole debacle that we're dealing with right now in the country, and it brought me to this thought process of: are we really free? Right? Are we free? And I don't know, Amy, your definition. We'll call her Mama on the show. Mama, your definition of freedom. Uh, when you think about we the people came to America to be a free country, to have our freedoms, and we formed a government, obviously, because you have to have civilization, you have to have rules and structure, and you have to have guidance, and you have to have kind of an umbrella of protection. But if you go back to the beginning and you look at the way it was structured and the amount of people that left their farms, and we're going back, 1776, right? 1780, 1790, 1800. There was a lot of farmers, a lot of ranchers, a lot of dairies, a lot of basket makers, a lot of
even in the 1500s, back before. I mean, everything was farming.
Right, but now that we have the country built.
I guess you're right. So, okay, we didn't say I was the smartest one.
She is good looking. But that's why we left, because in the 1500s we were under a king's rule, we were under a dictatorship, and we came to America to find and found the country on freedom. So we had the right to express ourselves the way we wanted to. Thank you for joining. Express ourselves the way we wanted to, worship God the way we wanted to, and that's one thing. And this is another show. It's freedom to worship how you want to. It's not to not worship God, right? There's been so much manipulation, and I call it manipulation through marketing or manipulation through media, and they have kind of sculptured us and conformed us down like a funnel, like a V, if you will, where we're going slowly into the box they want us in. They're taking us from this great big land of freedom into categories, into a two-party system. How dare you even be an independent and try to disrupt the system? And we've just lived under this facade for so long, and we've just thought it was normal. And don't get me wrong, for a lot of people, for a long time, we've known there was something wrong. But now that Donald Trump is in office for the second time and using Elon Musk and Marco Rubio and different people, yes, to really pick apart the system and expose the evilness and the corruption of government. And I don't want to name all the people because, one, I can't pronounce. I think her name is Ela Rashad or something. She's a congresswoman. You got Elizabeth Warren, you got Mitch McConnell, and the Clintons. And there's even people on the Republican side. There's both sides. It's not just the Democrats. They have worked their way into Congress, and maybe when they went there, yeah, it was an honest vote. They got voted in 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 25 years ago. They've been in there for so long, and they've gotten the power. They've tasted it. And I don't know who said it, but they said, power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that is where we're at. And we live under this illusion of freedom. And yeah, we're freer. And that's something that really kind of made me mad. We have this thing about going around, we're the greatest nation on earth. Okay, fantastic. We're the freest nation on earth. Fantastic. But that's not good enough anymore, because we're not supposed to just be the freest. Because when you're comparing us to everybody else, that's not really a good ruler to measure by. Like, we're freer than China. Okay, who cares? We're freer than North Korea. Okay, really, who cares? We're freer than Cuba. Okay, really, who cares? Right? We're the greatest nation. We're greater than Kenya and third world countries. Okay, but that's not really something to be proud of. I don't think personally anymore. And when you hear people like Elizabeth Warren say that common U.S. citizens, common Americans, do not have the right to see what taxpayer money is being spent on, she is a common American. She was a common woman that got elected to office and now refuses to leave. She's got her hooks dug in. Amy and I were talking about this the other night. Like, Mama, tell him, when do you want to retire?
As soon as possible.
Put the camera on you. Let him see you.
I don't like as soon as possible. I would like to retire as soon as possible, for sure. I mean, honestly. And when you say freedom, the first thing I think of is working together. It's the only thing that still comes to my head. Even though you're free, you have to work together to have freedom.
Right? Okay, I got you. It's a group effort to have freedom. And I'm sorry I can't look directly in the camera. We're driving a 20-foot trailer doing a CattleHaul.
Next time we do a live, we'll make sure we're
Yeah, but I like it because it's a random thought.
Yeah.
A real genuine thought.
Yeah.
So we have this exposure now of what we've all known has been going on for a long time. And you have the Democratic Party fighting, yelling, screaming, calling it a coup. Like, the president of the United States can't coup himself. He won. He won the election. He won. But the Democrats and the establishment, right? The swamp, as we call it up in Washington, they don't want to let go of their control. So it brings me to this thought: are we really free, or are we only as free as they allow us to be? When you look at the tax burden that we're under, and you go about like the fact that we pay tax on diesel and gas, we pay tax on the roads we drive on. And then we also pay tolls on them. We pay tax when we buy something. We pay tax to keep something. We pay depreciation. We pay taxes to die.
Right.
And there was a time
we pay taxes on taxes that we already paid.
Yes, right. And when you get into like the investment world, that you have to have different accounts. Like, is that a pre-tax account? Is that a post-tax account? When do you pay taxes on it? Do you pay tax? Social Security, and I know Trump's trying to fix a lot of this stuff, right? So I'm not talking about or trying to get in that discussion today. But this was the main thought I kept having. They have funneled us into, basically, we the people are supposed to sit down and shut up, pay your taxes, go to work every day, so these congressmen and House and the Senate, these people can just run our country to benefit them the most. Why we don't get nothing. We fight over the scraps. When you look at their income and you look at the money they make, $175,000 a year, and they're worth $5.5 million, $10 million, $84 million, $20 million.
Yeah, they're supposed to be civil servants. That's
right.
What we talked about the other night.
Yes, they're supposed to be elected to be civil servants to serve us civilly, to make just enforcement and laws to better the American people. But the overreach has gone so far, it's now into a control situation where they know what they're doing and they have to keep their thumb on us and keep us controlled and keep us pushed down where we don't have a voice. And if you think we have a voice, there's 387 million Americans. And we have a two-party system.
Yeah.
We get told what people we get to choose from.
Yeah.
That's not a choice.
It's not. They choose who we get to choose.
Yeah, yes, and the media and the power and the money control the advertisement. So when you do have common working Americans trying to get to Washington or trying to get to Tallahassee or whatever state you live in, trying to get to the level of government, they can't get the footage on TV. They can't get the airtime.
Well,
They,
think about people. So when we were,
let me see it.
I'm sorry, when we were all voting, Jonathan was doing his due diligence to look into every candidate, and we found out there was other people running for president. So
7.
7. So, but the comment was made: don't waste your vote.
Right.
That's how is that? Were they?
How's that freedom?
How is that freedom?
You know, I love you.
That,
Uh, so I'm trying to go somewhere with this, right? So not just the two-party system, but the fact that now we have Democrats yelling at the top of their lungs, telling us, now they're not talking to Republicans, telling us, we the people, to fight back against our president, to fight in the streets, to fight in Congress, to fight in the courts, to fight. But it's not like he's saying, hey, we're bringing slavery back, or, women can't vote anymore. He's not doing any of that. He's fighting against them, and they're so mad and uptight, and they want their power so bad, they're trying to convince Americans to fight to keep their power, as if they represent us, but they don't. They don't properly represent us. And when you look at freedom, it's supposed to be we the people. So I was talking about retirement early and the longevity of Congress people, congressmen, congresswomen, people in the House, people in the Senate. What other job, and if you're honest, now I know there's people out there that work till they die, all right? I know the economy's rough and most people don't even think about retirement right now. But the American dream that we all want to chase is to find a trade, find a skill set, find an education, put in your 25 to 30 years, hard at it, stack up some money, make some money, and then get out, retire. If you can retire early, great. Different people have different jobs. Some people put in 20, put 25, right? But we all go into work looking for the day we get to reap the benefits and sit back and relax. Why is it that Congress is the only people that don't have a retirement plan? And I don't mean like a benefit package. I mean, like, if you go to work for a company, most companies are like, hey, 20 years plus your age, that's your retirement. And I know a lot of that has changed in the last few years because people have to go back to work. Economy's rough. COVID messed things up. There's a whole lot of stuff now that didn't apply in the older days. But there were people that, like, after you work so long, even your boss was like, hey, it's time to check out. It's time to retire. If you go back to the founding fathers and you look at structurally the way we the people were supposed to govern ourselves, because we are a representative republic. The way our government works is called a democracy, but we are not a democracy. We are a representative republic, a constitutional republic. All right, we elect people to go take our voice to Washington, and then they're supposed to come back to their communities, their towns, their cities, and be held accountable. But that doesn't happen anymore. They stay in Washington and they stay there for life because it's not about we the people anymore. It's about their control, their kickbacks, their money, their agenda, and how they can put more and more regulation on us. And the part, okay, I don't know if I can say, is it time for a revolution without getting kicked off the air? I'm not saying do anything violently. Please don't take me the wrong way. Not yet. But it's almost time for a revolution. Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and Elon Musk and the team they have built are fighting hard to restore some power of some balance of power for we the people. How is it that Congress are the only people that get to vote on their rules, meaning term limits? So how come we the people can't say, hey, we want term limits on the ballot so we the people can vote, and these are term limits set. The president can only serve for 8 years of his entire life, all right? Joe Biden in Congress for 48 years. Bill Nelson, I didn't know the man. He went to space, but he served until he almost died. Mitch McConnell has been in Washington longer than I've been alive, and I'm 47 years old. He went to Washington in 1975, and he has not left. And he says that he is our voice, or the voice of the Democrats, and he's gonna fight for us. It's manipulation through media. It's manipulation through marketing to keep us enslaved to the system they built. Throw it on the ground. Gonna be a part of your system. So I don't know what the answer is. Obviously, Trump's doing the best he can. He's doing a great job. But, and I don't want to be a naysayer, but after this 4-year run, if J.D. Vance don't get elected and God unseen, it shifts back to a Democratic situation, is everything Trump worked for going to go right back? And then they're going to be like, whoo, glad we got that guy out. Now we can go back to business as normal. You have that Arisha Assad, I don't even know how to say her name. She's a Somalian congresswoman who is on record saying she will fight for the interests of Somalia from inside of the U.S. government. She should be impeached for that. That would be like the president saying, from now on, we're going to push China or push Japan or push Cuba or push Mexico's country's agenda onto the American people. That's an impeachable act. But yet she still has a microphone. CNN and MSNBC and all the outlets still let her talk. Elizabeth Warren said, we are not allowed to see what they spend our money on. It's our money. It's our money. We pay it. They need to be held accountable. We are just, all we are is like monkeys on a treadmill. Just working away, sending money up to Tallahassee, sending money up to Washington so they can live the lives that we dream about living. And I think it has to come to an end. I think USAID is just the tip of the iceberg. We did a good video, and he put that video out. Like I said, it's a little bit of a long watch, but please watch it, like it, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know how you feel. There's so much going on. Just a little sidebar. Can you tell them about your comment on the halftime show? We're going to take a sidebar for politics for a minute. I'm so mad about it. And I'm so mad about everything you see on TV. And everybody on Facebook, not everybody, but these crazy left liberals that they fight and they're yelling about everything Trump's doing. It's like the dude has got your best interest at heart. He's trying to make it better for you. But the way the media wraps it, it's like he's up there committing treason. When really he's just trying to get rid of the people who have been robbing us blind. He's trying to get some freedoms back to us. Does that make sense to anybody besides me?
Yes.
Now, you made a comment about being old. And the reason I want to talk about the halftime show is because there is an epidemic that we need to be worried about. And it will destroy our country. Faster than any crooked politician, faster than any misspent money. And it's messing with kids, man. God can only take so much. And the guy last night, what was his name? Kendrick Lamar? He made the Minor song. That's the name of the song?
Yeah, no,
okay.
The Drake.
Tell him a little bit while I watch this, Travis.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but
you were talking about you didn't understand a word.
I didn't understand a word he said, but I'm gonna say from the past naked, all the craziness. I don't know. The choreography was good. I mean,
there was no nudity.
I don't think it was a bad show. Sorry, I got my hair all up. I don't think it was a bad show, but I didn't understand it, and for the first time in my life, I felt very, very, very old. So
you were like, "What he say?"
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's what it sounded like to me.
But is it true that the guy Drake is a baby raper?
I don't know.
That's disgusting.
I don't know.
That's what little kids.
But everybody commented on it that they couldn't believe that they called Drake out like that on
the halftime show.
On the halftime show, and he wore the A minor necklace.
That's what that means.
He had a little A minor.
But okay, when you start obviously the FC list and all the P Diddy and now Drake and you look at Nancy Pelosi's husband's getting the babysitter pregnant and all this stuff is like. This may be hard for a lot of people to understand. But when you have everything in life, everything, you can't ask for nothing more. You got a $5 million house in 3 different cities. Yeah. You're in bed with every political person and business kickback person in every country. the world is yours. You
You're
need
getting
$100.
everything thrown at you and
You get,
done everything.
well, you get bored.
Yeah,
Like just for instance, like we talked about Christmas. Sometimes we try to do too much for the kids,
yeah,
and then we're like, man, we ain't gonna have nothing to get them next year,
right,
Santa Claus,
yeah,
or for their birthday.
right,
You give too much too fast, then there's a level of expectation, and then a boredom sets in
yeah,
because there's nothing else to give. There's nothing else to have.
yeah.
And I know this sounds disgusting because I can't wrap my head around it, and I'm sure most of y'all can't wrap your head around it either. But how do you go to, oh man, I guess I'm gonna start banging children,
I don't
start
know.
hitting, knocking off little girls, little boys, because that's the only thing that excites me now. Because I've had every hooker, every prostitute, every secretary, every affair. I've been with dudes, I've been with this, I've been with everything. There ain't nothing else out there for me to get my rocks off on. So they start messing with little kids.
Well, look at the porn epidemic. There's so many young men now that are addicted to porn, and they can't have a normal relationship with a woman or their wife or their soon-to-be wife. They don't even know what real is. I mean, it
Right?
goes. Yeah, it's the devil. The devil is sex, drugs, and rock and roll is in everything.
No, it is. It is. Um, and again, it's the idea: are we free? The whole thing I'm talking about is freedom. Are we really free people, or have we been so manipulated by marketing and media that they push this agenda on us? And again, I know I'm preaching to the choir here because most of us aren't living that terrible lifestyle,
Right.
but we get into commonalities and we're in this lane of like I-4 right now. You have two choices. You can go east or you can go west. And I understand that's a route you have to travel if you're going somewhere. But our lives have been sculpted and shaped like interstates and exits that we're allowed to get off on and exits that we can't get off on. And Amy and I were talking about this, like trying to wrap our head around the crooked politicians. I would imagine that the average voter picks politicians like they pick fast food. Like we know, we've discussed on my page, on my channel, we've talked on my radio show about how bad fast food is for you
Oh my gosh.
and how fast food in the 70s was not that bad. Like French fries in the 70s were potatoes, salt, and beef tallow. Now they're like 18 different chemicals you can't pronounce, and they got
And
formaldehyde in
it
them.
tastes like crap. I'm so
Tastes like,
mad.
you know what crab tastes like? You been eating crab? You eat a
Yeah,
crab sandwich?
that's if you have a Burger King bacon cheeseburger or onion rings, it's crap.
But you get into the voting ballot with your freedom of choice because we're free, we the people. And you see four names you don't know, and then you see Elizabeth Warren. And for the Democrat people, just like for us with Rick Scott or, you know, Marco Rubio or the Planktons or anybody else, and I'm not necessarily picking on everybody, right? But I'm saying we line up and check a box based on familiarity. Is that how you say it? Say it.
Familiarity.
Fam- fam-
Familiarity.
Familiarity. It's like I'm hungry. I know they're bad for me, but I recognize McDonald's. Oh, I recognize Burger King. Oh, I recognize Taco Bell,
Yeah.
Wendy's. And you're like, what? Mom and Pop, Biscuit and Gray? I ain't stopping there. I ain't never heard of them.
Right.
We get into the voting box and we think we're free. We think because nothing else makes sense to me. Because when you realize how bad of a job these people are doing for us and how long they've been there, and that most of them have never had a real job in their life, why would we continue to vote for them? Why would both sides, Democrat and Republican, why do we continue to just vote the same people over and over and over? And then it's like, well, we get to elect a new president every 4 to 8 years. That'll bring change.
Because the TV ads and the social media ads told us so.
Ooh, manipulation through
Through
marketing,
media
through media.
and marketing.
Media, marketing, manipulation.
Yeah.
Put that on a
And
t-shirt,
they
Nikki.
start going on The View, and they start going on Good Morning America, and they start their little tours, and then you see, oh, look, they went to the homeless shelter.
And you have an outsider like Donald Trump come in, and they cast him as the bad guy, the devil, the evil one, the tyrant, the communist, the Hitler, the this, the that, everything they call him under the sun, because they don't want you to go to the mom and pop restaurant.
Yeah.
So backtrack real quick. We
We're
gotta
supposed to be inclusive to everything. and we're not
Right, yeah, the
exclusive.
party of inclusivity
Yeah,
hates
yeah,
a majority of the country,
I know.
and they hate us for wanting change.
Yeah.
But they were the party for wanting change and be progressive.
And we need to want people who to call a spade a spade and stop
Yes.
living in this fake
So
world.
so riddle me this, and if you're super smart and you understand constitutional law and amendments, how do we get? Because I'll be the guy that starts it. All right. And it looks like we're probably getting into some rough traffic, so we may cut this a little short tonight.
Yeah.
But how do we get our voices heard? I think the rally cry of the revolution needs to be term limits or no peace. Term limits or no peace.
Term
Term
limits, or
limits.
we turn it out. Term limits, or we turn it.
Put the camera on you and say it again.
No way.
Yep, do it right now. Rotate.
No way.
Rotate and
No,
let them
I
see.
don't want to.
Repeat what you just
I think
said.
term limits or turn it out.
I'm gonna turn it out. Turn it out for term limits. Turn it out for term limits. Turn it out for term limits. If we can't get term limits on every elected official, burn it to the ground.
Burn it to the ground. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this.
It's a CattleHaul.
It's the Cattle Hall with Jonathan. Listen, I need you to comment. Even watch this after it was done. Comment. Go see the video we
We
just
didn't
posted.
start the fire. We're gonna throw gasoline on it for sure.
Oh Lord! All right, guys. Bye. Thank you for joining us.